Uyinene Mrwetyana was born on April 20th, 2000 in East London, Eastern Cape, South Africa. During her mother's pregnancy, she and her husband were told that there was a high risk of her baby girl being paralyzed, and it might be best for her to terminate the pregnancy. But as devout Christians, they believed in God's will that their baby girl would arrive safe and healthy. Nonetheless, she arrived safe and healthy, and thus her name Uyinene, meaning God and He is truth, was given. At 19 years old, she attended the University of Cape Town in Cape Town, South Africa. She excelled academically, and it was said that even at the tender age of 4, she expressed she wanted to go to school. Among her friends, she was described as vibrant, outspoken, full of life, social, and popular. She was a first-year student at the university studying film and media and had a passion for fashion, clothes, and keeping up with trends. On August 8th, 2019, Uyinene had ordered clothing online that was supposed to ship and arrive at the Clarence post office, and so she stopped by. However, the teller at the office told her that it hasn't arrived and that they'd notify her when it does. So she went on her way. 8 days later, on August 16th, Uyinene's package arrived and was registered. Fast forward another 8 days to Saturday, August 24th, 2019, she arrived back at the post office to retrieve her package, and that was the last anybody has ever heard from Uyinene. Once Uyinene didn't turn up to meet with her parents and brother as she planned, worry began to set in. This was not like her. Friends and fellow students from UCT aided in the search for Uyinene by going door to door with flyers and searching the grimiest clubs and bars for her. Her friends created the hashtag #BringNene on Twitter and another one in her name in hopes of spreading her disappearance. Uyinene's parents also hired a private investigator, Noel Pratton, who was previously tasked with finding Megan Kramer, whose deceased body was found in Cape Town just weeks prior, along with 3 more PIs. They concluded that the last place Uyinene was last seen was the Clarence post office in Claremont to collect a package. Yet, her family and friends, although it was extremely difficult, remained hopeful that she would come up and return. In the early hours of Monday, August 26th, just 2 days after Uyinene went missing, police doing routine patrols found a body in a shallow hole in the town of Kailicha, not too far from Claremont where Uyinene was last seen. The body was transferred to be identified, where DNA would be collected and an autopsy would be performed. On August 30th, now 6 days since Uyinene's disappearance, police received a tip that the post office in Claremont, where Uyinene was last known to have visited, might be a crime scene since blood has been spotted on a mop. The police then arrived and cordoned off the premises for forensic tests to be conducted, including blood and DNA samples and fingerprints. The same day, they arrested 42-year-old Luyanda Botha, who worked as a teller at the Clarence post office in Claremont, as a suspect in the case. Not much information is available about Luyanda Botha, but he was described to be a calm man, not overly friendly, but not cold either. It also appears that he has had a few run-ins with the law. In 1998, he was convicted for a carjacking where he received an 8-year prison sentence and only served 5. Also, according to police, he had an attempted rape case against him where he allegedly attempted to rape a woman at a nursing home while there to visit his girlfriend. However, the case was subsequently withdrawn. While in police custody, police searched the post office along with Botha's vehicle. He eventually confessed to the harrowing story of what had happened to Uyinene that Saturday. As we know, Uyinene had ordered online clothing which she intended to pick up on August 8th, but Luyanda Botha, the teller, told her it hasn't arrived and they exchanged contact information so that she'd be notified when it does. The package then arrived on August 16th, but she came to the post office on the 24th to pick it up, where she saw Botha again, who told her the electricity was down and to return later in the afternoon, despite the office closing at 1 p.m. Botha then secretly arranged for his co-worker, Soraya Abdullah, to leave a little earlier so that he would close, alone. Shortly after 2 p.m., Uyinene returned again from her dorm in UCT via a minibus taxi to the post office, and Luyanda Botha let her inside. Once Uyinene went inside, he locked the door behind her. Botha claims to have made sexual advances towards her as she was searching her bag to pay the custom fees, and she began to look scared. And that's when he attacked and sexually violated her. All the while, she fought back. There was a point in the attack where Uyinene ran for the door, but Botha caught up with her and knocked her to the ground. Then, he drug her and locked her in a safe, and she began screaming in the safe. Botha then began choking her in an attempt to strangle her, but she continued to fight back and kick him. He then grabbed a 2-kilogram weight used to weigh packages in the post office and bludgeoned her to death, targeting her head. After the murder, Botha went to a nearby liquor store and consumed alcohol before returning to the post office, covering Uyinene's body with cushions, a blanket, and a jersey, before stuffing her body back into the safe to stay overnight and leaving home. He returned the following morning on August 25th to clean up the blood in the office. Later that day, he put Uyinene's body in a large postal mail bag and into his vehicle, where he drove to a field in Kailicha and dumped her body in a shallow hole. Afterward, he went to a gas station, purchased gasoline, doused her in the gasoline before lighting her body on fire. He later hired someone to clean his car to rid it of any forensic evidence. The following day, on the 26th, he visited a shop across the road from the post office where employees said Botha asked to see the CCTV footage from the 24th and claimed he left a generator outside of the post office that was stolen. He was allowed to see the footage, but although their cameras was facing towards the post office, they could not see its entrance. Upon forensic investigation, Uyinene's blood was found inside the post office, Botha's car, and his shoes upon being arrested. Through DNA and an autopsy, the body found in Kailicha was confirmed to be Uyinene Mrwetyana. The autopsy also confirmed that she was sexually assaulted twice, and her cause of death was a fatal head injury. On September 2nd, 2019, Botha made his first appearance in court after being charged, where his confession and new information about Uyinene's murder was made public. The next day, community members angered about Uyinene's murder made a trip to a house in Kailicha, believed to be Luyanda Botha's, and set it alight. But this would only be the beginning of protests. Uyinene's death sparked national outrage as it highlighted the country's problem with gender-based violence and femicide. Shortly after Botha's court appearance, the hashtag #AmINext began trending online as a plausible question, since such violence against women happened all too often. A 2018 study found that a woman in South Africa was murdered every 3 hours. The country is also globally ranked the 4th highest for the murder rate of women. Just after Uyinene's death, a 14-year-old girl was found raped and battered to death in her backyard. A boxing champion known as Baby Lay was murdered by her boyfriend. among numerous other women brutally killed by men in South Africa within the same week. Women lost all patience and faith in the authorities' ability to protect women and react to crime properly. A large protest was held on September 4th in Cape Town, where the South African president attended. Vigils and remembrances were held at UCT and other neighboring campuses for Uyinene. Another protest the following day took place where about 10,000 people were in attendance, wearing all black, to mourn those who have lost their lives to gender-based violence, while also holding #AmINext and Enough is Enough posters. Within the same week, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the former Duchess of Sussex, visited the post office where Uyinene was murdered, and in New York City, hundreds of South Africans protested against gender-based violence after Uyinene's death. South Africa's president, Cyril Ramaphosa, stated that he would propose to Parliament harsher sentences for crimes against women and children, and other measures including plans ensuring perpetrators don't receive bail or parole and go to prison for life, along with providing additional funding to gender-based violence campaigns. Uyinene's death reignited the AmINext movement and is credited to have shifted the South African collective consciousness. As for Luyanda Botha, his trial was set for November 5th of 2019. He appeared in court with a hood on and his head down as people saw him for the first time. On November 15th, Botha was convicted of 2 counts of rape, 1 count of murder, and 1 count of defeating the ends of justice.
You have heard the submissions made by the defense on your behalf and the state. I am satisfied that the conviction and sentence agreement is in accordance with justice, and accordingly I convict you as charged. Now, as regarding to the sentence, the court convicts you as charged. As regarding the sentence, I'll read out as follows. On the count 1, which is in short rape by inserting your fingers into the vagina of the deceased, life imprisonment. Yes. Count 2, which is rape by inserting the accused penis into the vagina of the deceased, life imprisonment. On count 3, for the unlawful and wrongful killing, which is the murder of Uyinene, life imprisonment. And count 4, 5 years direct imprisonment, which essentially is defeating or obstruction of the administration of justice by disposing of her body, setting it alight, and cleaning up various forensic evidence in the course of obstructing the administration of justice. I further order that in terms of Section 280, subsection 2 of Act 51 of 1977, the sentence imposed on count 4 shall run concurrently with the sentence imposed on count 1. I need not have to say this, it happens ex lege, but these sentences will run concurrently in that it consists of life imprisonment. That the accused is furthermore ordered in terms of Section 276 capital B of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977, a non-parole period of 25 years is fixed, during which the accused shall not be placed on parole. And lastly, in terms of Section 103 of the Firearms Control Act 60 of 2000, the accused is unfit to possess a firearm.
Aside from the tragedy sparking a national movement, on November 29, 2019, the Uyinene Mrwetyana Foundation was founded in Makhanda, Eastern Cape, to commemorate and celebrate her life. The foundation also established a scholarship partnered with the University of Cape Town, which Uyinene formerly attended, for female students in the humanities faculty. It is a full-cost scholarship that covers tuition, residential fees, and learning materials for all 3 to 4 years, as long as the student maintains an overall average of 65%. Their first recipient recently received the scholarship for the 2021 academic year. Please click the link below to donate to her foundation, and thank you for watching.